I am resident of Colorado for YouTube. Jules Sains, that is my buddy Gordon Dymowski, that is my buddy Patrick McCray, that is my buddy Alan Gallant. We're here to review Lords of Salem, a movie written and directed by Rob Zombie, starring Sherry Moon Zombie, which is my wife. Guys, I'm just going to say this up front. I consider this the unofficial uh, version of a Dark Shadows movie without any of the Dark Shadows characters. This is that good. I enjoyed the hell out of this.
Yeah,
Um, the fact that he gets into witchcraft and he does a very suspenseful, slow burn movie, and I wasn't expecting a lot of the things that happen in it. It's such a really, really well thought out story. Gordon, what did you think?
Ooh, what did I think? How do I say this kindly? Well, it is a slow burn movie, I will say that. Um, I think there were parts that were clever and that were well written and really cool variations on what we would normally see. Um, However, it kind of struck me as the problem that I have with Rob Zombie films, and this is a me thing, which is I always find that he has good ideas and I see where he's coming from and I can respect the effort. But for some reason, it just didn't gel with me. It just felt like it was more, here are these clever bits that I put in, but they never follow a through line to a complete whole, if that makes sense.
he doesn't tell a story that in a way that a lot of filmmakers tell a story. That's for sure.
Hmm.
I like you say, the good ideas, the good camera angles, the saturated colors, the dark shadows, all of that sort of thing's cool. It's very cool aesthetically. Um, but um, but a lot of people like that for its sake, and I think Rob Zombie likes that for its sake. Um, and there's certainly it it's like watching a developing um, um, physical condition. This movie, it's like watching somebody, you know, dying of cancer almost, and maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe he's got something going on with that. I don't know. I mean, obviously possession has something to do with it and all of that. But Mrs. Zombie's character is sort of, you see that happening. It's like this. She's relatively vital at the beginning of it, and then all of this stuff happens to her, and it just kind of takes and takes. The thing I love about this movie, how many of his childhood mystery and horror heroes can he possibly wedge into a single
Hmm.
film? There's a lot
and
of
give
good.
good things to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely,
Hmm.
absolutely.
Patrick, what did you think?
I think it's a great movie. I can't necessarily disagree with what's been said. But at the same time, there are a lot of good ideas in the movie.
Yeah.
And honestly, Hollywood's a business where there aren't enough good ideas, period. So, I would kind of rather see a bunch of good ideas taped together in a vehicle that maybe doesn't quite make it across the finish line than something that makes it across the finish line. There's nothing in it I'm interested in. Uh, I think I think it's a visually beautiful film.
Hmm.
I think it's paced really interestingly. I think it is the Rob Zombie movie as you can pretty much get while still being recognizably his. And I like that. It's a very disciplined film. It's a very quiet film. It's clearly an homage to Kubrick and Ken Russell
Oh yeah.
together. And that's so wild to see because Kubrick is so disciplined and controlled. Ken Russell is so crazy and hell's a popping.
Yes.
Um, it's a movie that I can just it's there's another movie I'd like to watch this month, and that's called I think it's called Only Lovers Left Alive. It's a Jim Jarmusch film about vampires. It stars Tom Hiddleston, and I think it's marvelous. And again, it's very much like Lords of Salem in that I think it's probably a more successful movie as a piece of storytelling, but as just a deep study in atmosphere that works.
Mhm.
Um, I like the cast. I like the fact that this is a movie in love with women.
Oh my God, I haven't seen a movie with Judy Geeson in it for years, and this is like,
It is in love with women. And
yeah,
whether he's showing them as like weird toothless hags or whatever, they still have something kind of sexy to them.
oh yeah,
And yet self-owned.
hmm
And I love that about it. And this is a movie I realized, I see the movie a number of times. But last night when I was rewatching it, I realized, oh, this is a devil movie where the bad guys win.
hmm
Just flat out. It's like Ninth Gate in that sense.
yeah,
Uh, they win. And this is like a holiday movie for Satanists, where,
yeah,
I mean, the ecstatic look in their eyes when their Messiah is born, and
yes,
and they are the three wise men,
hmm hmm
essentially. I think Bruce Davidson's magnificent.
oh yeah,
It's just great in the movie. I mean, as the more I watch it, the more he really is sort of the spine of the film. The only thing that's hard to believe is that someone who's an expert in this field wouldn't know he was the descendant of this, famous, witch hunter figure.
right.
That was a little much. And Ken Foray is dynamite. And I have, with the exception maybe of Blake Edwards and Julie Andrews, I have very rarely seen a director more authentically and unalloyed in love with his wife, and
Oh
just
yeah,
just celebrates her. And
sure.
I really, he's such a bright guy. She must be an extraordinary woman. I mean, she certainly is very beautiful, and she's a fine actress in this, and she turns in a really
Hmm.
good performance. So
Yeah,
those are
she
all
does.
things
I mean, she does good things with non-dialogue
she does
scenes.
great things.
So you have to have somebody that actually knows how to act to do that.
Yeah,
Otherwise, you have a cardboard cutout running around and things happening to it.
it's kind of like with John Morris and Mel Brooks. The only thing that's sort of, and of course they've often been compared to each other, uh, that it's a shame that she only works with him.
Hmm
Just because I'd like to see her in more stuff.
hmm
And I think she ages extremely well. She holds a feature, I think, just beautifully. And my God, what set design! I know I shouldn't geek out just over that, but it's all part of the atmosphere of
That's
this
part of the
movie,
atmosphere.
Hmm.
Yeah.
and it just really works. So, yeah, I mean, there are places where it's so boring, just here and there. There are places where it's predictable. There are places where it's silly, and I think maybe it's meant to be silly, like
Oh, I
what
think
the
so. Rob Zombie
what the
has
Satan
a sense of humor.
child looks
Yeah,
like. She's holding the two penises, and he's kind
yeah,
of this pudgy, weird
yeah.
homunculus. Hardly this glamorous Lord of Light figure.
Right.
Um, I think he really touches on the pagan nature of Catholic iconography, supremely well.
Hmm
Um, it's even though it's this homage to um, Kubrick and to Russell, um, there still is something that feels very fresh about it,
hmm
even though it shouldn't. I should go, oh yeah, okay, it's this, but it feels fresh. Yeah, I like the fact that the relationships are all a little idiosyncratic. I like the relationship that she and the other DJ have. That there's obviously some sort of past. Maybe there's some sort of
Sure.
present, but they're
It's a real
friends.
world. It's a real world thing that's going on between the
Yeah,
three of them.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think it's a good, yeah. It's a very mature relationship that the three of them have.
hmm
And I like that. So yeah.
Yeah.
I think too, Rob as a cinematographer, to me, he's one of the greatest out there. And his experience from shooting all those music videos for his music career really paid off when he got into film. And you saw that with his Halloween remake, with The Devil's Rejects, and with this. Just beautiful cinematographer. Knows how to shoot and knows where to shoot and what angles to shoot at. I do think this is one of his, in my opinion, one of his better stories that he does tell. Because I could, again, when you look at Bruce's character in this movie, he even says on the radio, "Well, are there actually witches?" He's like, "Well, there were, but they're not real witches out there anymore. It's just they're peace loving, grass, and so he himself in modern times is a bit of a skeptic. Not completely. He doesn't necessarily believe there are real witches anymore. But he just because you don't believe in doesn't mean there are others who don't or who can be manipulated into believing. And I love the story he's telling where you have that plot twist where this person's related to the person who burned the witches at the beginning of this story. He tied it very well together, in my opinion. He did a really good job with the scares in this movie are more visual than anything else, but they're there to not necessarily scare you, but to sort of give you a chilling feeling, sort of like an old school black and white movie. And as a fan of old movies, I appreciate that very much about this movie.
Oh yeah, if Betty Davis were still alive, she would be in Rob Zombie movies from
Yeah.
her latter day,
Oh,
horror
yeah.
career.
Mhm.
She would be perfect for that sort of thing. Another thing, just to mention again, he has completely and totally realized Meg Foster's potential
Yes, yeah.
beyond the eerie, otherworldly TV movie of the week shit that she did for years, and she did well. This takes her over the edge and into what she can really be.
I would say with Dee Wallace also.
Yes, from what she was in the first Howling
She was in
movie.
E.T. I think she played the mom.
Yeah,
She's
she did.
also in the Howling
Cujo.
too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And and the other thing I really like about what he does, and this goes back to his love of women, is that he lets them be erotic, no matter the age.
Mm-hmm.
No matter the age, they are to him just as erotic as they were when he first saw them,
When he was a kid.
and when he was a
Yeah.
kid. And he presents them not smoothed over. Every line is visible,
Mm-hmm.
and you see them through his eyes as being just as beautiful and erotic as they were when he saw them when he was a kid.
Right.
And I think it's I was about to say what a magic trick. No, just what an honest
Yeah, just hear what
appreciation it is.
just this. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
he's a director who welcomes me to wander around in his libido without me feeling dirty.
yeah,
You
because
know,
it's not, it's he yeah, he's not trying to make a Ron Jeremy film,
he's
or
not.
something like
He's
that.
not. Although I'm sure
He's
it would be
just
great.
a straightforward, I mean, yeah, really. Speaking of horror films, but no, it's just a straightforward appreciation, and here it is. This is how people are. This
Yeah.
is that in this aesthetic of otherworldliness and occult and all of that sort of thing. Here's how it is. Yeah, it's. I mean, I couldn't believe how many people I recognized from my childhood.
He really went over the top with this one. I mean, he normally does anyway, but
Yeah,
wow, did he pack it with this, and
yeah.
packed it even with actors I knew I should have recognized, but I don't. But they just exist in my 1970s kid brain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Judy Geeson being one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I mean she goes back as far, if not further, than any of them. She became famous during the swinging London era. She was an actress in what she was in To Sir with Love. Lulu
Mhm.
got all the stuff because she sang that song, but she was a big part of that movie. She was also a model of sorts back then, like a lot of them were. Um, but yeah, she's the one that goes back the furthest. I remember her. I mean, I saw To Sir with Love. Yeah, God, I must have been, I don't know, 10 years old or something. Whenever it went on to television for the first time, I was very young. It came out in 67. So, and then you've got, when you mentioned Kubrick, I knew it was had something to do with him, and then I realized, oh yeah, hallways, staircases, all this
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, it definitely has that texture. The Shining and various other movies that he's done. So
I like too how he sets up Sherry Moon's character when she's at the apartment. She opens the door and she sees the room, somebody at the room number 5. She goes down to the manager. Hey,
yeah.
there was somebody there. Oh, no, I haven't rented that room in forever. It smells, it stinks. So you're setting something up right at the beginning of this movie. And I like how Bruce's character too in this movie, when he hears Lords of Salem at the radio station, he's sort of like he's suspicious, so he starts asking around. The fact that Rob uses Bruce better than the first X-Men movie did, great job.
Mm-hmm. Oh, speaking of Bruce Davidson, there's one brief scene where that door opens up and there are rats coming out of it. And for those who don't know, Bruce Davidson first came to prominence in a movie called Willard, and that was way back at the beginning of his career in like 1972, 71, 72, somewhere in there. And there's that brief homage, and I went, aha, like that, because he puts little Easter eggs like that in these movies.
Right. And ironically, Willard actually had a love theme performed by Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, that was Ben.
Ben.
That was the lead rat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was
a love song
Ben.
to a
I thought
rat.
that was the sequel.
Well, the sequel movie is called Ben.
It was called Ben.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's the same rat. It's the one that has the intellect and does what Willard tells him to.
Yep. So kids, if you're watching, go to YouTube and do Ben Michael Jackson. Trust us, we are serious about this.
Yes, it is.
This is a thing that happened.
To a rat.
In throwing out a couple other titles, what was the other one I threw out there a little while ago for us to maybe look at? I just did it a few minutes ago.
Oh, God.
The vampire movie?
Yeah, the vampire
Only
movie.
Lovers Left Alive. Yeah,
Yes. With
another couple of movies I would suggest that kind of tie in a little bit is there's a horror. There are 2 horror documentaries, actually 3 that I really like. Blackout Tapes, really good. Oh God, what's it called? The Nightmare. It's about it's by Rodney Escher. It's about sleep paralysis. But there's also, pursuant to what we've been talking about, there's one by Michael Moore. I think it's called Rats, and it's just about rats in New York and how scary that situation actually is, and how New York is just constantly on the verge of being overrun.
Sure.
By rats. Terrifying movie. Very sober, very scientific, but wow. Yeah. And maybe it wasn't Michael Moore. Maybe it was the guy Morgan Spurlock. It was one of the 2.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a good movie. Hey, you mentioned rats. I just
Oh yeah. Anybody that knows New York's subsystems knows that there are enormous potentials down there for rat overrunning, because there's so much underground in New York.
Yeah, there's another good rat movie. Now that I mention it, called Of Unknown Origin, with Peter Weller dealing with a giant rat, and it's a pot boiler. It's a good movie though.
Mm-hmm.
What's some of you guys' favorite scenes from this movie?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. Please.
I will say I like the scene where Bruce Davison is talking to his colleague, because it's the obligatory exposition scene, but the way it's written, it's not the, well, what you can tell me about this? Well, as you know, I mean, it's very naturalistic,
Yeah.
very like I feel like I'm maybe giving it, I still didn't care for it, but that scene I thought was most of the movie is clever in the way it's written. I just think that a lot of it just doesn't hang all together. It just feels like it's one of the few times I actually felt like, did I really watch this movie, or is this just, did I just like not pay attention and let an hour and a half go by? But
Well,
that's more a me thing than the movie thing.
sure. I mean, I still have some issues with the storytelling, but that's a scripted scene. I
Hmm.
mean, that's a solidly scripted scene, and so I get why you feel that way about that scene. The movie does. I have to appreciate the fact that the movie has this nightmarish quality, dream-like nightmarish quality to it, because that's how she's becoming possessed. She keeps waking up. Um, and so I do appreciate that structure of it. I just have a preference for linear storytelling a little bit more than what's
Hmm.
happening in here in terms of the actual structure. It's not that the storytelling is non-linear, particularly. It just doesn't have a lot of specifics in it. And
No, and it's not in a hurry.
no, it's
Movies
not.
not in a hurry.
No.
It's one of those movies that you put on very eagerly, and then you find other things to do while you're watching it. But it makes a wonderful companion because
Hmm.
and it has such a rich soundscape.
It
Also,
does. It
you're
does.
just absorbing it
Hmm.
He's
constantly.
very good at stimuli that way. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
agree.
And it does. It is an atmospheric piece that builds its pressure slowly but steadily, and that's what makes that composition of music, I think, so brilliant for it because that's exactly the oppressive quality that music brings in. It's very disturbing.
Yes, there and that certain soundscapes, even the non-musical soundscapes, are very disturbing at times as well, and they're meant to be. It's that the humming in the background, that
Hmm.
kind of thing. That's as for scenes that I like, in terms of the aesthetic, in terms of the advancing of the vibe of the movie, the two scenes that link the coven together, the coven of the past and the resurrected coven of towards the end in the movie theater and all of that sort of thing is kind of cool.
Yeah,
But also the three women are the absolute coolest. They're
I hope they weren't among the people who killed themselves. I was actually very
I know.
sad when I heard about the big mass
Yeah,
suicide that
yeah, yeah,
occurs at the end of this film. I was like, oh, I mean, they're the bad
yeah,
guys, but still, oh,
yeah, yeah. They were also I mean, I can see them having a great deal of fun doing these scenes and building to the point where D. Wallace uses the frying pan on poor Bruce, and that's when you realize, oh, these guys are not amateur Satanists.
no,
These
no,
guys
no.
are in it,
And
all the way.
and yet I buy all three of them as characters in their scene
Sure,
with Bruce,
sure.
and I want to know them. I want to know more about. I
How'd they
want to
get
know
there?
more about every character in the movie. I
Yeah,
want to spend more time with every character in the movie, and I think that there's probably a longer cut out there.
maybe so. Maybe so.
There's got to be. There's got to
This, see,
be.
that's part of the storytelling that I would like to know too. Is more of the expository stuff, well done, of course, about these people's lives.
Yeah, yeah. This is the sort of movie I very much want to see a making of on. And I think when the DVD came out, it was pretty bare bones, as I recall. I may be wrong. I have it somewhere. But I don't recall a lot of supplemental stuff because I think I watched it.
Yeah, yeah.
But it really deserves. I would love to see a nice long interview with Rob Zombie just about this movie.
Hmm.
You guys give this movie scale 1 to 10.
This is always like a poker game. What are you
Waiting for
gonna-
the first
what are
person
you-
to show their hand.
That's right. What are you going to give it? I'm going to give it this.
As far as the atmosphere and everything in it, and as far as cinematography and all that sort of thing, I'll give it a 10. In terms of the way that I prefer storytelling, because I'm a theater person, a lot of times I tend to get ahead for script and all that sort of thing. I'll probably give it a 7.5.
Yeah, I'll give it an
And I'm
8.
still satisfied with it as because of the
Yeah.
aesthetic.
Yeah, I'll give it an 8.
Jewel, how about you?
10. I give it 10.
I get 9.5 to a 10. Yeah, I really like this movie. I mean, I
Give it
suggest
9.5 weeks, right?
That's right. That's right.
I
Which
love ambiguous endings. I mean, one of my favorite westerns, The Great Silence, has an ambiguous ending. So unless you in the 2K and you put the good ending.
Jewel, I have a suggestion
Sure.
for the next movie because you mentioned a Dark Shadows movie and that this had qualities of a Dark Shadows movie. I would like to throw out there another movie that I think also is a good modern day Dark Shadows movie, and that's Crimson Peak.
No,
Have you seen it?
no, not.
Well, actually, it would go well with Only Lovers Left Alive if we ever do that, because it's also a Tom Hiddleston movie.
Yeah.
Guillermo del Toro. Have either of you guys
Yeah.
seen this film?
I've not seen it.
Gordon, have you seen it?
Nope, I have not.
Interesting movie. Interesting Victoriana weirdness.
So when do you guys want to do Crimson Peak?
Whenever you like, I can do it tomorrow. Whatever works.
Yeah.
Gordon, what's your schedule for tonight?
I'm good tomorrow.
Okay. So
I
we'll
just don't know
do,
where to. I just don't know if I'll be able to find the movie in time. Is it streaming anywhere?
I don't know.
We'll find out right now.
Yeah.
Crimson Peak. Watch movie. Okay.
Oh, okay. It's on Amazon, so I can watch it there.
Okay. Let's see if there's archive for the rest of us.
And could somebody look and see, because I don't have access to my computer, if it's on Movies Anywhere?
Let's see here.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so Jewel, we can work something.
Okay.
that works.
Okie doke.
So Lee, is there anything you guys want to add about this movie before we get?
No, it's a cool movie. And if it makes you go out and watch Ken Russell and Stanley Kubrick, all the better.
Yep. This is an eyes sewn shut movie. Okay, that's what this. I mean,
Could you imagine Rob making a Dark Shadows movie where
It'd be a lot of fun.
where he builds Barnabas, knowing that Angelique is going to come to the present, and he's debating on telling somebody or
Well,
not.
Sherry Moon is Angelique. I mean, that's right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Link to Patrick Cray's Dark Shadows Day book on down is going to be the description box.
Yeah, and I think
Okay.
Rob Zombie's Dark Shadows movie would be much better than his Monsters movie.
Yes, I did too. Link to Gordon Dymowski's Amazon page and website's going to be in the description box. Link to Alan Glenn's YouTube channel, Collins Porch After Dark, is going to be in the description box. You guys have a good night.
Good night.
Sure.
Good night.